into my moral
if Matt were at
universe.
the table, and Terry, you may lose, I don't think he does believe what you just said, that your life is your own, that it also belongs to God. And I think that and you should read Matt's column. It's long and it's well thought out. But I think Matt arrives at conclusions that then he doesn't answer difficult questions. If and I believe also life is valuable, that you should fight for every second, and this girl, that's her sin, that's the mistake she's making. What about those that choose to go to hospice, that do not fight for every second? They may not be extinguishing it themselves, but they have chosen to let go of the fight.
What about battlefield? I'm sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say, what about battlefield euthanasia, which has existed for a very long time? In fact, there's a specific reference to it in the Bible with Saul, who decides to fall on his sword after telling one of his aides to kill him, and he won't do it. He falls on his own sword. You have people that have, for a long time, there's actually a history of this with the British surgeon in the Second World War writing about what it was like in the Pacific Theater when people would have just the most grievous and horrific wounds. What are you supposed to do? Leave them to be captured and tortured more? Leave them so they can suffer for hours and hours in unbelievable agony? They're definitely going to die. It's essentially a condensed version of the euthanasia debate. And I think when you bring warrior culture into it and people who are serving on the front lines, people become a lot less quick to judge harshly somebody who would make that decision for themselves. They don't want to be captured by Al-Qaeda or the Taliban. I'm certainly not about to judge them because of their decision on the battlefield.
But I think that is goes to specific circumstances, you know, and which I said earlier on. When you go to war and the likelihood of being killed in an awful way is much greater. So therefore, you make those decisions going into it, and then, you know, who are we to judge on that? I already said that. As a person of faith, I would not advocate for something like this. I do not believe that my life is my own. I believe that I am a child of God, and that I have, you know, as a Christian, that God, you know, makes those determinations from beginning to end. And who am I to judge that or take that away from what God has intended for me? So I think that's something that for people of faith is hard to reconcile.
Here's the trouble that I have. So when you make the